Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. What's going on, team? Johnny back with another video. Hope you guys are all having a great start to your morning. Today is, let me go ahead and pull that over here, February 27th, 2026, and it is 7:21 my time. I need to share my link real quick to my video to the team, let everyone know that we are in fact live. So give me just a second to copy that over to the Discord team. And there we go. Perfect. And if you're not a part of the Discord yet, you can join 100% free lifetime access for right now by clicking the first link in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. Looks like the stream quality is good. All right, perfect. And here we go. So as you guys can see, Bitcoin has sold off overnight after a nice little rally yesterday. So it had a bottom at 62,000 to a high of 69,000. Yesterday we were waiting for this break below the 200 moving average, and we actually shorted Bitcoin by trading MSTZ and made over $100 yesterday. Just over 100. It was like $102 by trading these three candles right here. That was it, these 3 or 4 candles. And if it broke this structure, we would have made some more. But we made $100 by trading and shorting MSTR when MSTR broke below this little area here, right? So we made some money on it, shorting MSTR, you know, buying MSTZ down at 12, selling it at 13. And I did keep my one lucky share. So I still have one lucky share of MSTZ right now. Now, Bitcoin is actually another beautiful drop down to at 1.65700 and holding pretty much right around 66,000. So we'll have to readjust our alerts to see if we get another break below, see if it holds. And I was thinking if it broke below 67,000, then we could see more selling pressure. And that's exactly what it's doing here today. So we're going to get in with a light position, because if Bitcoin sells off, then MSTR can also sell off. And it's more likely to see selling pressure below this moving average when it does break below, right? So we want to make sure that we're aware when this does break below, we can take advantage, because there is more likely will continue selling pressure from 129 down to potentially even 120. We can see a nice 6% retracement for MSTR compared to the upside of about, I'd say about 5 or 6%. Now, I did touch 135 during that pre-market session, 135.50, and bounced right off of a resistance level that we had already identified from the day before. But if it finds support above the moving average, then MSTR can begin to push up, and it could retest 135 very easily. So let's see, the overall market will open in about 5 minutes. QQQ is also down from where our alerts were set yesterday. And this was holding above that moving average. It's no longer holding above it, right? It tested 617. It was kind of floating around 619 the day before yesterday. Retested 617 as resistance and validated it as a resistance level. So it is back down to 603. It's down almost 1% on the day. And so I'd like to see this begin to go down to 600 or even 599 and retest this area. Will we get it today? Who knows, right? Who knows if we're going to get it or not. So we're just going to wait and see. Let's make sure we are still going live. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay, see me okay. I'm sure you guys can. And yeah, it's Friday, so I expect the markets to be slightly choppy. But nonetheless, we're here, and I'm ready to take a trade when it makes sense, right? So that is what the plan is for today. Right, hope you guys don't mind. I got my coffee, which is already cold. That's okay. In Danish, that's not very good. Now, MSTR could run up. So if it does begin to push up, then I want to make sure we get a better entry on MSTZ. As right now it's at $13. And it couldn't break above 13.19 yesterday. And then went back up and retested it during the pre-market session this morning after a beautiful sell-off to 11.96. This was at 2 in the morning though. I would have had to wake up at 2 in the morning to buy this at 12. And honestly, I probably should have, because I could have bought easily, 200 shares. I could have bought more. I could have bought like 250 shares. We'd be up $250 already right now this morning. So that would have been really nice. And my one share is up 6%, and that's with the low average to 1270 average. That would have been barely right here. Imagine being up the full move from $12 to 13. That was a 10% pre-market move. 10%. That is insane. Looks like Bitcoin is going to continue to sell off a little bit, so we'll get in with 50 shares. Nothing too crazy. We'll do 50 shares. I don't know why it's being so weird right here. Let's go ahead and bring this up a little bit. There we go. Man, I really don't want to though. It's like buying at resistance. Even though Bitcoin could still sell off, we could see this begin to pump and then push up. We saw that yesterday. But it could also get rejected and sell off. So I think we're just going to be patient. I don't want to actually rush into anything today. It is Friday. I'm not at my normal typical trading station. And there we go. There's a break. I mean, this can still run up pretty high though, right? This could still run up to 14. It could run up to $16, and I don't want to miss that move if it does happen. MSTR, again, break of structure, potentially. 128.77. Yeah, see, it crossed over. So we're going to wait. We're going to let Bitcoin rally as much as it needs to, and then we'll go from there. All right, market is open. Let me know if those alerts are a little bit too loud. MSTZ pulling back, so good thing we didn't buy at that level. MSTR trying to pump up. QQQ around 603. Take a look at CoreWeave. CoreWeave is down 17%. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It is down 17% after earnings. It was just down 20%. Trying to recover, but man, what a move. CoreWeave down. CoreWeave earnings disappoint. And the VIX index is saying it's at 21 right now. So this hasn't updated quite yet. So we'll see what happens when it does update. Netflix, guys, Netflix is up 9% from yesterday, from 84 to 96. That is beautiful. SoFi down 6%. That's not good. Wow. Okay, QQQ back below 603. Bitcoin holding above moving average. Once it drops below that moving average, I definitely do want to buy some more, right? Of some MSTZ. Bitcoin is still pushing up though. See this? Let this thing run. Let it run all day if it needs to. And I wanted to showcase to you guys exactly what Bitcoin did yesterday. So yesterday we actually made $100. You can watch that live stream if you want to. After this one, shorting these 4 little candles. Now we did want to see a break below the moving average for more downside, but it didn't happen yesterday. It found support, pushed up, and then in the pre-market hours, it sold off below this moving average. So this is giving us every reason to think that Bitcoin can sell off more. If it comes back up to retest, say 66,700, it could possibly get rejected off of this level and begin to sell off even further. It doesn't have to, but it definitely can. I just want to remind you that just because we had a good trade plan yesterday, it never has to go according to our trade plan or in our time horizon. I wanted it to happen yesterday. It happened in the pre-market session last night or early this morning. So, it's very interesting to see when things like that happen and you're like, oh man, my trade plan would have played out. Yeah, it would have, just not in the time horizon that you wanted it to, right? So Bitcoin pushing up, we're going to let it. Again, remember what I said, we're going to let this push up. We'll set our alert above 66,350. Another alert right around 67. We're looking for a break below 65.7. So we are just being patient here. And look, again, it's following this 45 EMA. So if it gets rejected, we'll get more downside. If it crosses over, we can see more upside back up to these levels. Looks like Bitcoin is trying to pump. QQQ pumping also. MSTZ holding around 13, which is odd, even though Bitcoin is somewhat bullish for these few moments. MSTR is kind of, still getting rejected below that moving average, right? Has been all morning pre-market, getting rejected. We could turn off this, could actually turn off the VWAP if it's a little distracting. We're going to see if it does cross. It got rejected off of this 45 EMA. So we'll see if that continues to happen. We're going to do we're testing previous highs from yesterday still, so just kind of waiting. I wouldn't be a surprise if MSTZ did begin to sell off, because it's at all-time highs, right, for right now, for yesterday and today. So let it sell off. MSTR pumping, let it. Bitcoin's going to run up, and then when it peaks, then we can buy at a nice low again, right? But it definitely can sell off, so I'm glad we did our part by being patient and waiting, because I was just getting ready to buy 25 shares right there, just to start a light position. Let's see what happens though. And remember, it's the first 5 minutes of the bell opening, even the first 30 minutes of the bell opening. A lot of volatility will be around this level. Doesn't mean you have to take a trade. We can wait for direction to be more clear, and then we could take a trade. We have all day before entering a trade. Okay, big rejection candle for Bitcoin. MSTZ hovering around 1295. We're going to let MSTR break through this area though. There we go. Okay, let Bitcoin run. Let it run up as much as it needs to. Let's set another alert down here. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Well, yeah, I guess it does. Below 66. Let's see if it goes below 66. Setting your alerts could be the best thing you can do for yourself. Where Bitcoin and MSTR like to rally during the beginning of market open and then usually sell off a little bit during like midday. See if that does happen. There we go, Bitcoin pushing up. QQQ. Kind of getting rejected. It did get rejected off of this moving average here. So that's good to see. See if this breaks 62.50. How is the market doing at open? QQQ is down about 1%. Right now it's still having trouble finding an upside. It's still getting rejected off of the 200-day moving average. There's potential for it to bounce right here off of 602. Doesn't necessarily have to go all the way down to 599 or 600, but it's almost at the $600 support. Sold off yesterday, sold off today. So that's kind of what's happening with the market right now. So we'll see if the market begins to push up higher. Hi, girls.
Hi.
You guys eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have biscuits and gravy and one have waffles.
Nice. I'm still eating my Danish. All right. Dang. Bitcoin struggling. Bitcoin struggling to make new highs. Here we go, getting some more selling pressure. Okay, Bitcoin could potentially push down to 65 again. Could potentially push down to 62. Potentially, definitely 62 is a support. It's been as low as 60,000 before. Doesn't mean it has to get there. But we'll see what happens. Looks like it's getting rejected though off of that 5-minute time frame. Means MSTR is selling off slightly. It doesn't have to happen today, it doesn't have to happen right now. We're gonna buy 50 shares right here. Would have been nice to buy at a lower point when it made sense. We are seeing some upward momentum here. Would have liked to buy at 12.90. That would have been ideal, right? But if this thing pushes, there's nothing wrong with just being a few cents too high. If this thing can definitely push up to 14 or 15 or 16, no point in nickel and diming a few cents. So remember, do not copy me. 50 shares is a very light position compared to what I normally trade with. I could easily buy 250 shares, so just know it's very light. Okay. Now Bitcoin is below this moving average. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Selling off very nicely. We'll see if it breaks some of these support structures, and if it does, then we'll be sitting pretty with a few shares. And again, we could always add more as direction becomes more clear. Okay, looks like MSTR. Oh, we gotta go look at sound, or else it's gonna keep going off on us. Sound at 923, okay. Remember, 9 has been a previous resistance level for a long time, from $7 to $9, pushed up to $9.60 yesterday, coming back down to retest $9 as a support. And if it does find support, then, you know, obviously sound could go up $10, $12, $15, even highs of $20 in certain areas. So be aware of that, okay? But always make sure you know when to cut your losses, when to take profits. Okay. All right. Bitcoin dropping, selling off. And this desk, man, sucks. My arm's already getting all tore up from the edge. Okay, MSTR dropping, making lower lows, breaking that pre-market support structure. So see how low it can go. Keeping it very light today on the position size. I'd like to go a little heavier, but after we have a clear sign of breaking above this moving average, same with MSTR, it looks like it broke below it. Looking at the 30-minute, just has to break the support. And it would make more sense to us to buy more. See what you guys are saying. Gustav E, hello. I bought a lot in Bitcoin at open as well as in Flutter Entertainment and Crazy Drawdown. Okay, I've never heard of Flutter Entertainment. Do you own any MSTR or the 12% MSTR yield share? Nope, I don't own any MSTR. I short MSTR. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning. BTC selling off. Maybe 62 needs to be tested. Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see 62 get retested. Let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens. Bitcoin finding a little bit of support here. MSTR pushing up slightly. We'll see if this breaks above or gets rejected. But the market could definitely rally. VIX index is at a 21. So a reminder, anytime the VIX index is above 20, the market is more likely to sell off, and we're going to see a lot more volatility. When it's below 20, the exact opposite, right? Less likely for selling pressure and less volatility. Bitcoin still selling off, which means MSTR, no break in structure. The trend is still bearish for now, which gives us every reason to hold on to our MSTZ position, potentially even adding more to it. I'm gonna add another 50 shares here. We have 101 shares of MSTZ, which means we are shorting MSTR and we are shorting Bitcoin at these levels, okay? We want to see this begin to break this support, break this structure, get some panic sellers in here so they can really sell off aggressively. Doesn't have to, but it definitely can. And it looks like it's going to find some support. Big push back up. But this gives us every indication for more selling pressure, right? See if it goes above these levels. And again, if this pushes up, then MSTR will go higher, and we can get a better average on MSTZ if it does go down, right? Just kind of consolidating right now around this level. Looks like QQQ is pushing. It is above that moving average now, so we can see this begin to rally and push back up, okay? And MSTR can push up with QQQ. Definitely can. How are we doing this week, John? Doing good. Doing good. How are you doing? We're up like $340 this week. And whatever we make today, my goal is $100 a day, $500 a week minimum. Obviously, if we make more than that, great. But my goal is $500 a week for right now. And as the account grows, it'll go up from there. How are you doing, Andrew? Big sell-off from Bitcoin, guys. Okay, I want you guys to be aware of that too. This could bounce and recover just as fast as it did yesterday. Look at that. Huge move up from 5 p.m. Or, sorry, not 5 p.m. From 5 a.m. to like 2 o'clock. It pushed up. Now, I'd love to see this sell off, right? On the 1 hour time frame, it broke this 200 moving average, which means it is bearish. Doesn't have to happen, but it definitely can, right? Looks like we're getting a little bit more selling pressure. Let's see what the overall market's doing. Okay, back below moving average. Again, acting as resistance. This can go lower as well. Right now, we're just seeing a lot of choppiness, a lot of consolidation. Direction isn't very clear. Everything is just hovering. It's just kind of flatlining right here at support. MSTR testing at 128.50 level. So we'll see if we get a break, which would be nice for our short position. You guys don't have to be super quiet either, okay?
What's this?
Everyone knows that we're in the hotel together, so
Okay, cutie. Just used to it.
it's not like I'm doing a solo trip or something.
Okay. Have you looked at your banana or muffin?
No,
Okay.
I'll probably be wrapping this up in the next 10 minutes or so. I got 20 sound shares at 883 with 1% trailing take profit. Nice. 1% on $10 is what, like, is that 10 cents? That's not bad. 10-cent trailing stop. Especially on a company that doesn't, I mean, it pushed up from all the way up to 960 yesterday. So, I mean, even if you had a 50-cent trailing stop, it might get hit, right? Not saying you have to have a 50-cent trailing stop, but even right now, pushed up from 9 to 930 all the way down to 9. That's 30 cents right there. So, well, looks like it's selling off. Remember, 9 is a pretty solid resistance level. It's got rejected off of $9 many times. It looks like it's right at 9. So this can go all the way back down to $7. So make sure you know when to take profits. Take a little bit off the table. Maybe lock in half. Maybe wait for direction to be more clear to re-enter. Unless you're long term, you're thinking, you know, a couple of weeks or something, or longer. A couple of months, a year, depending on how long you want to hold. But make sure it makes sense to you. Okay, MSTZ to 1315. Come on. I'd love to see a nice little break, and it could happen in the next 5 minutes. It could take 5 hours. It could take probably not 5 days. Probably take, you know, over the weekend. That'd be worst case scenario, right? It happening over the weekend, and we stayed cash, so we didn't even get to participate. I don't really like to swing trade because there's not a way to really manage your risk if things go south on you. You know, I don't like the feeling of not having control. If I see something going south, I like to be able to cut my losses, right? You can't cut your losses when the markets are closed. So then you come in on Monday and you're down 10-20% because you thought markets had to do what you wanted, and that's how you lose. That's how you lose money, right? We want to stay in control. All right. Looks like Bitcoin is holding. Gonna come back and retest this moving average. Let's see what happens. It's finding some support. QQQ selling off technically, but A lot of consolidation when you look at the 5-minute time frame, right? Hasn't really gone up, hasn't really gone down. A lot of consolidation here at this level. What about you guys? Do you guys have any plans this weekend? You guys doing anything fun or interesting? Let's see, we've been live for 35 minutes. Okay, not bad. Smash that like button for me, guys. Okay, Bitcoin kind of holding here. Everything's kind of holding right around this level. Got 2 minutes until 8 o'clock. 2 minutes, and then we might get a little bit more clear direction. Looks like this might begin to either sell off here at this point or cross over the moving average and become bullish. Okay, QQQ holding around 604.50. Bitcoin holding around 65.8, 65.9. We haven't made anything or lost anything, guys. We have $1. $1 right now. The day is still early. I think I finally locked in profits yesterday. It was like around 1 o'clock maybe, or no, maybe it was more like 11 when we sold at these levels for MSTZ. Let's see. Yeah, I think it was around that time. I'll check in a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now it's moving. We're up $10, so not bad for right now. Looks like MSTZ finding some upside. So what's happening? Is it QQQ? No. Looks like we could get that crossover here though. Love to see this get rejected and sell off more. It looks like it's pretty bullish technically. No, it's still trying to, yeah, it looks like it might get the crossover here. It does, we could see everything begin to rally. MSTR wanting to push. QQQ. I mean, I'm thinking this is going to be a little more bullish today, guys. I mean, it's already sold off. Sold off one day, yesterday, pretty aggressively. Sold off pre-market. I mean, if we get more selling pressure today on Friday, that'd be great. But if it holds support above 602, it gives it every reason to rally and push up. So we could see that. Yep, here we go. Crossover. Okay, looking bullish for the moment. See if it's not a fake out. And Bitcoin. Bitcoin pushed all the way back up too. So what we're gonna do is just get out of our position for right now. Just because direction is unclear. But clear enough to know I don't want to hold this all the way down, right? We're not trying to give back our profits that we made this week. So I reduced my entire position of 100 shares. Now only holding one share. I mean, one share is nothing, right? Keep my one lucky share. We're gonna let this rally. I have my alert set, so if this begins to push up, we can wait for it to push as high as it wants to go, and then we can begin to short it, right? Could have been a bit of an overreaction for me, but we're just gonna play it safe here. Because remember, when it's above this moving average, it's more likely to push higher. Same with QQQ, right? It's above this moving average now, so it can run up higher, which would influence, that'd not be good for our short. So yeah, probably a bit of an overreaction on my end, but better to be safe than sorry, right? Trying to make sure that I do my best by managing my risk. I had 50 shares at 13.17, 50 at 13.18, and I sold at 13.06. So down about $10 for the moment, but that's nothing when you look back and you say, okay, we had a $350 week. Now we're at $340. We're still doing really good for the week. And we still have plenty of shares and buying power to get back in if we see Bitcoin begin to sell off more. But I got my alerts set, guys. We're just waiting to see the break below, I'd say like 65.6, 65.7. If Bitcoin breaks that, then we could see a retest of 62. And then QQQ, right? It could push up higher, but I'd love to see it break 602. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much gonna probably wrap up the live stream here. Answer any questions you guys might have. Andrew said, I got to go do something on the course and my phone gonna die. Catch you later. Have a good day. Most likely on Sunday Stock Talk, boss. All right, yeah, we'll see you on the Sunday Stock Talk this week. So yes, good reminder for all of you who are new or not aware, we host our Sunday Stock Talks at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We go over our game plan for the week, what we are looking at, and we also look at some stocks or ETFs that you guys are interested in. I'll give you guys my personal opinion on them, and yeah, really gets us all set up for the week. So appreciate your guys' time. I hope you guys have a great weekend. More than likely, I'll be doing some sort of a recap video later today or some sort of helpful video, either this afternoon or this evening. I'm not too sure yet. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you did, smash the like button. Remember to manage your risk today. Fridays can always be a little tricky. There's a lot more selling pressure, but because the markets have sold off for 2 days in a row, we could see them begin to recover. Okay? Make sure you have a trade plan. Make sure that you manage your risk. You take profits when you see fit, and when in doubt, cash out. There's no need to hold a position over the weekend or try to force a trade if it just isn't making sense to you. There's no point in forcing anything, guys. Remember, the markets will do whatever the market wants. It doesn't care about us or our feelings. We just need to show up and identify what makes sense to us. And remember, never trade based on anyone's opinion, only what makes sense to you. So hope you guys have a great weekend, and yeah, see you later, guys.